All right, we're going to talk about congruent lines and angles, and mainly the term congruent. It's very important to understand this term. Congruent figures are figures that are exactly the same. They're exactly the same size, they're exactly the same shape, they have the exact same angles, they have the exact same measures of sizes, so the figures are not shrunk or expanded in any way. However, they might be turned or rotated, they might be flipped. They can still be congruent if those things, if they are turned or flipped or rotated or slid. Okay? And so, what you have to do when you're figuring out if they're congruent is use your tools, use a protractor, use a compass or a measuring tool to check and see if what, Bella? And how would you know? Very good. If they have the same size, the same shape, same angles. Okay? So, let's get our tool out here. Let's start with a ruler. So, this measures 20, it's supposed to be 20 millimeters. And so, I would have to measure all the sides, 20 by 20 by, maybe, nope, this one is 22 and 22. And then measure this one. Get the point? You need to measure and make sure that they're the same size and shape. How would you tell if these are congruent? Can you just measure the sides? What else would you have to measure? The angle. Yep. And so with your protractor, you'd have to measure the angle. Put it on here. And turn this like this. And this is a 70-degree angle. It's lined up with the baseline. So when you're measuring an angle, you put the point on the vertex, line up the baseline, and then find what number it goes through. Are you with me on measuring angles? Everybody knows how to measure angles? Yep. You're going to have to do that on the test coming up. Okay? Melina? Not right now. Then you have to measure this one. So put it on there. Line up the baseline, and that is also a 70-degree angle. Okay? So, are these two angles congruent? Yeah. Are these two figures congruent? What else do we have to check? If these are line segments, then we have to measure each leg also to see if it's congruent. Okay? And all of these figures are congruent. Even though they're flipped or turned, they are all congruent. Okay? Any questions on congruence? Then, on your worksheet, you've got some figures you need to measure with a ruler. When you are measuring the angles, you may have to take your ruler and extend the lines in order for you to get an accurate measurement. In order for you to get all the way to the numbers on your protractor. The angles might not be long enough, or the sides might not be long enough. Okay? Any questions on that when you're doing those? since they both have arrows on them, you don't have to measure the sides because the arrows mean what? It goes on forever, right? So you're just checking to see if the angles are congruent. What are you checking, Andrew? Come on, man.
If the angles are congruent.
Yes. Okay. Then, let's go to lesson 14.5 also, because this is also reviewing parallel and perpendicular, these terms. Parallel lines never intersect, right? So they go along, they can be in, they have the same slope, it's called. So they have the exact same slope, but they're on a different plane or a different line, then, and they will never cross, they're called parallel lines. Right? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You should have heard of parallel lines before, so I was hoping that you would understand that. Parallel lines can also be in going in any direction. Okay? How about perpendicular? Have you studied perpendicular lines before?
Yes.
Perpendicular lines form what?
They form right angles.
Form 4 right angles, yes. Are these perpendicular?
Yes.
Do they have to be straight up and down to be perpendicular?
No.
Nope, they can be turned as well. As long as they form 4 right angles. And if you were to measure this, you would find that these are 4 right angles. Okay? Are these two perpendicular?
No.
What are they instead?
Intersecting.
They're 4 angles, but are they perpendicular?
No.
Nope, they are,
They're intersecting.
they're just intersecting lines. Yep. Perpendicular lines also intersect, but they form right angles. Now, normally when you see them drawn in your book, unless you're being asked to measure the angle, if they want you to assume that it's a right angle, you will see the box that designates that as a right angle. Anytime you see that little box on an angle, that means that you should treat that angle like a right angle. Okay? Any questions on that?
No.
Then, look at this figure, number 1 on your worksheet. These are not just lines that form right angles, but these are called intersecting or perpendicular planes, because a plane is a flat surface. It's a 2-dimensional surface. So these are perpendicular planes that form 4 right angles, okay? Does everybody see that figure? Then, it asks you to do some labeling on this, and to then answer the questions about the vocabulary, okay? So, do lessons 14.4 and 14.5 for tomorrow.
Okie dokie.